All right, well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another exciting day in mathematics. Warm-up number 57 is on the screen. Shouldn't take you long by now. Should be experts at it, yeah? You're waking up in the morning of inequality, right? So, I'll give you guys some time for that. In the meantime, I'm going to take attendance, and let me set up the assignment so you can turn in your home plate in a little bit. All right, for the sake of time, here we go. Number one. What'd you get for number one? Tell your neighbor, please, before Courtney Jean enlightens us. Number one. Turn off the lights. Hold on. All right, back to our regularly scheduled program, and it's being recorded. So, yes, whenever you have a B nearby, be calm. If you are calm and you don't pay attention to it, it's going to leave. But the more you react to it, your chemistry is calling it, believe it or not. Yeah? So, second, if it's inside wherever, it's because it's following the light. So turn off the lights, open the door, and it will leave because it's going to follow the light. Free advice. Here you go. All right, where were we? Number one, Courtney Jean, go. 5 less than x, less than or equal to 8. Hands if you got that. That is correct. Tell your neighbor the interval notation for that, please. Interval notation. All right, Martin, go. Damn, without losing the beat, let's go. Number two. Tell your neighbor what you got for your solutions for number two. Should be able to do those completely by yourself. X equals and x equals. So, number two, Courtney Jean, pass someone. Martin, what'd you get for, for number two? X equals what? 2. X equals what? Oh, first one, -2. -12? Just 12? All right, let's double check. Cross multiply, this is 10 times x plus 2. Cross multiply, this is x squared minus 4. Distribute, this is 10x plus 20 equals x squared minus 4. Get everything to one side, so I subtract 10x, subtract 20, subtract 10x, subtract 20. We end up with 0 equals x squared minus 10x minus 24. -24 and -10. What two numbers multiply give me -24? And when you add them, give us -10. That is 2 and -12. If you set them in factor form and then you set them equal to 0, answers -2 and +12. Martin, let's go. Number 3, y equals mx plus b, f of x equals blank x blank. Tell you what you got for that one. Then looks like Laura's got this one. All right, Laura, go. F of x equals 1x plus 3. Hands if you got that. Very close. She's just missing something. Tell your neighbor what she's missing. Notice that the line is going in which direction? Down, so it's a negative. Yes, -1x plus 3. All right, and last but not least, let's do number 4 together one more time. Here we go. The inverse, for the sake of time, I'm going to guide you through this one. We set it equal to y. Y equals 3/5 x plus 3. Next step. Selena, go. Subtract 3, subtract 3. Y minus 3 equals 3/5 x. What do I do next to leave x by itself? Don. He said multiply times the reciprocal 5/3 to both sides. I know some of you went the long way first. You multiply times 5 and then divide by 3, but this is doing both steps together. So this is 1 over 1, which is 1x. Distribute, distribute, that is 5/3 y minus 15/3. However, this is not the inverse. The inverse happens when we do what, everyone? Exchange the variables. So therefore, 5/3 x minus 15/3 equals y. Now we need it in function notation, so 5/3 x minus 15/3 equals f of x, but to indicate it's the inverse, we put a little minus 1. And that you got something like that? Now check this out. Could I simplify this one? Yes, that could be a what? -5. Okay. All right, copy the agenda, please. Warm-up number 57, Semester 1 Concepts and Skills. Tonight's home play numbers 15 through 21 only. 15 through 21. So last night's was numbers 8 through 14. So go to Canvas, turn that in, please. And just a reminder, there's tutoring after school, and it's free, believe it or not. All right? So the assignment is open right now. You have about 11 more minutes to turn it in and get a Cornell note. Actually, no, we're going to continue on our study guide. And yesterday we left off with number 7, right? We didn't do number 7? All right, we'll do that in a little bit. So get that in front of you. I'll give you some time to turn in your home plate. Go. All right, here we go. Number 7. And it reads, first let's look at the squirrel. Aww. Be nice. All right, here we go. It reads, solve each problem using an absolute value inequality. And I mean, if you're doing an equation, that's fine. So now check this out. When we got to these absolute values, I remember I said set it up as follows. Absolute value x minus blank. Absolute value equals blank. You guys remember that? Yes? And I remember I gave you the example of a Bay Bridge or something like that it flexed and so on and so forth. Now, before anything else, let me pause the tunes in the back. Writing utensils down, look up to the screen. Question. Once we have the absolute value by itself, what's the next step? Make 2 equations. Is that correct? So the 2 equations, that means from here I have a what? A minus and a positive, right? So question, read the problem. I'm going to read it. Which number shall we put here that becomes a minus and a plus? Here it goes. On average, a squirrel lives 6.5 years old. The lifespan of the squirrel may vary by as much as 1.5 years. What is the range of the ages of the squirrel lives? So, with that said, tell your neighbor what number goes here. Tell your neighbor what number goes there. How much does it vary? Which one goes up and down? 1.5 goes right here. That means that the other number has to go inside, 6.5. So now that we have our equation, then we set up negative 1.5 over here, positive 1.5 over here, and then the rest. X minus 6.5 equals x minus 6.5 equals, and we solve. So plus 6.5 plus 6.5, x equals 6.5 minus 1.5 is 5, plus 6.5 plus 6.5, x equals 8. Yes? So, let's graph this. Here we go. So the lifespan of the squirrel is from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From here to what? 6, 7, 8 to here. So if I shade all of this from here to here, tell your neighbor to write the inequality of that graph. Tell your neighbor to write the inequality. Looks like Martin's got it. Very good. The inequality. So I'm going to start since this is a word problem, you need to give me a sentence at the end. The lifespan of a squirrel, that's how you spell squirrel? Squirrel, 2 R's. All right, is, what is the inequality? Martin, pass someone. Hands, if you agree with that? That is correct. From 5 all the way to 8. At the end, just write 10Q. So you know what that means? Woo! Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, it means thank you. All right, let's move on. That was number 7. All right, here we go. Let's get into the nicer stuff from yesterday's home play. And it reads, solve the equation 3x squared minus 6 equals to 6 using 3 methods. What are they? Graph, factor, and square root. Which is the easiest method? Square roots, yes? All right, so I'm going to start there. So I want you to write the equation right here. We're going to do that one together. 3x squared minus 6 equals 6. Was it equal to 6? Yeah. All right. So, by square roots means that I need to solve for x or leave x by itself. So, line down the equal sign. So if I need to leave x by itself, what do I do first, Jaden? That is correct. Add 6 to both sides. We have 3x squared equals to 12. I'm still not done. I still need to leave x by itself. So what do I do next, Rebecca? Divide by 3, divide by 3. I have x squared equals to 4. And the last step, since this is called what? Square roots, what do we have to do? Square root and square root. So this cancels the squared, so we're left with x. What is square root of 4? No. Plus and minus 2. So 2 answers. Positive 2 and negative 2. So now that we know for sure what our answer is, now we can go and do the other 2 methods, and we need to get the same answer. Positive 2 and negative 2. So let's go to factoring. Let's write our equation again. 3x squared minus 6 equals 6. And we're going to do that one by factoring. So for factoring, guys, put in parentheses equal to 0. Make sure you equal the equation to 0 in order to start factoring. So, is it equal to 0? No. So what do? Tell your neighbor. Yeah, subtract 6 from both sides. we're left with 3x squared minus 12 equal to 0. Now we can start factoring. So the word factoring, your noodle right away does what? Standard form and, let me do that again. Standard form and, what do we check? GCF. So is it in standard form? Yes. Is there a GCF? Yes. 3. We're left with x squared minus 4. Can we factor inside the parentheses still? Yes. What are my two factors? Tell your neighbor. Two factors of x squared minus 4. If you forget, here goes the clue. Look up to the screen. Whenever you get here, the red flag should be, let me zoom in. The red flag should be this negative and the squared, and it's a binomial. So whenever you get to those parts, say, well, can I take the square root of this? Yes. Can I take the square root of 4? Yes. Positive 2 and negative 2. Tell your neighbor what to do next from there. What do we do next from there in order to continue? Don, go. Let's go. Don in the house. That is correct. Set everything equal to 0. Is 3 equal to 0? No. Eliminate that. Minus 2 minus 2. X equals negative 2 plus 2 plus 2. X equals positive 2. Did we get the same answer as square roots? Plus and minus 2. That is correct. There they are. Let's go. Man, this is like tweezing. Not too easy, it's tweezing. There it is. That's my word. Yeah, go tell your language arts people. Don't care. All right, here we let's go to the third one, which is by graphing. Let's write our equation again. 3x squared minus 6 equals 6. When you get to the graphing, look up please. For the graphing, in parentheses, write equal to 0, comma, then equal to y. Equal to 0, and then we change the 0 equal to y. Okay, so once again, tell your neighbor what to do there. Subtract 6, subtract 6. We end up with 3x squared minus 12 equal to 0, so that we're done with the first part. But now we need to change that to what? The 0 to y. 3x squared minus 12 equals to what? Now, why do we need an x and a y? Well, because we need to graph, Mr. Q. Therefore, x and y. Tell your neighbor what values for x. By now you should be experts at this. Yeah, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. All right, we're going to do the two first values using the equation. So I'm going to write the equation over here. 3 parentheses squared minus 12 equals to y. So here goes the first value. What is my first value for x? Negative 2, right? So I'm going to write 3 negative 2 squared minus 12 equals y. So what is negative 2 squared? 4. So this is 3 times 4 minus 12 equals y. So what is 3 times 4? 12 minus 12 equals y. So y equals 0. All right, let's do it again now for negative 1. So I'm going to start all over. So it's 3 parentheses negative 1 squared minus 12 equals to y. So what is negative 1 squared, everyone? Everyone. 3 times 1 is 3 minus 12 equals y. 3 minus 12 is negative 9 equals y, and that goes right there. So far so good, yes? All right. Next, let's do the next three in our noodle. Ready? You guys ready with me? Here it goes. Look up. I'm going to take the 0, substitute it in here. So what is 0 squared? Times 3, and that leaves us with negative 12. Go. Next one, 1. What is 1 squared? Times 3, minus 12. What do you guys notice? Look. So what should we write here? 0. That is correct. So as long as you show me 2 of them worked out, you can do the rest using your noodle. Okay? All right, so let's graph this. Let me make some space here. Here we go. Negative 2, 0. Negative 2, 0. Negative 2, 0 is right there. Negative 1, negative 9. Negative 1, negative 9. We need a lot more over here, so let's stretch this one down. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So negative 1, negative 9 is about right there. Next one, 0, negative 12. 0, negative 12, so I need to go further down. 10, 11, 12. And then 1, negative 9. 1, negative 9. And 2, 0. All right, let's graph our parabola from left to right. All right, so far, pretty good. You did most of the work, but you still haven't given me what is the answer using the graph. Well, you need to indicate it. Look up. You need to point to those and say, these are called what? What else? What else? That is correct. It's called all those because now we have all of those here in one problem. X-intercepts, their solutions. We have the roots, and we have the zeros. Ah. From 1 to 5, how comfortable are you with this? Yeah? Is it coming back, some of you? Yes? Look how pretty. Hue merch on a shirt. Let's go. $10. They would go flying. All right, let's go to the next one, number 9. It says, find the polynomial that models the problem and use it to estimate the quantity. A rectangle. So what is the first thing you're going to draw? Yes, a rectangle. So let's do that. Let's see. Let's go like this. So it says length and width. So guys, which is our length? This one or this one? All right, so this is our length and this is our width. Yes? The other way around? Okay, fine. Better? Yes? Am I throwing some of you off? Yes? Okay, good. All right, here we go. Let's read this. It reads, a rectangle has a length of x. So instead of L, I'm going to write what? X and X. And a width of all of this. So the width, I'm going to write it here. However, look up. Notice that it's not in what? Standard form. Is that correct? So whenever you write it, make sure it's in standard form. So 5x cubed minus x squared plus 4. We write that twice. 5x cubed minus x squared plus 4. And it says, find the perimeter. Now this is what I want to see because they want us to show a what? A polynomial that models the perimeter. So, perimeter is side plus side plus side plus side. So the perimeter is length plus length plus width plus width. Yes? And you guys are taking copious notes. Okay, very good. Therefore, what do I write instead of length? X and X. Okay. What do I write instead of width? 5x cubed minus x squared plus 4 plus 5x cubed minus x squared plus 4. Since we're adding, that means we need to combine like terms. Make a little note here. Combine. Combine. So let's start with the highest degree. 5x cubed. Is there another x cubed? Yes, so that is the total of 10x cubed. Next, x squared. Negative 1x squared and another negative 1x squared, that's negative 2x squared. Are we doing good? Next, 1x plus 1x is 2x. And last but not least, the constants. What is 4 plus 4? 8. I want to see this as part of your answer. That's one portion of the answer. Is that a polynomial? Yes. Does that model the perimeter? Yes. But are we done? No. Says the length is what? 5 feet. So where's my length? Here. That means that x is 5 feet. So what does that mean, Mr. Q? That you're going to substitute for every x 5, 5, and 5. Bring everything else down. And all that equal to the perimeter. All right, let's see. Calculators, calculate. What is 5 cubed? That's 5 times 5 is? Times 5. So this is 10 times 125 minus 2. 5 times 5 is 25 plus 2 times 5 is 10 plus 8. All right, so far so good. What is 10 times 125? 1,250. Negative 2 times 25 is 50. There it is. Plus 10 plus 8. So let's go from left to right. Ready? What's 1250 minus 50? 1200 plus 10 plus 8. 1218, and that is in feet. And of course, at the end you write 10 cubed. Let's go. So what do I need to see? Number one, the polynomial modeling the perimeter, and then at the end the answer to the question posted. 2 things. From 1 to 5, I'll come to where you with this. Yeah, 5 fours, 23. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Go to the number 10. Oh, I love this one. Let's go. Look at the number that I used. Let's go. All right. Before we get into this one, though, look up to the screen. I remember when I got to this section, when we did, I started with the number 12, and I said number 12 can be written as a binomial in 2 different ways. Let's see if your neighbor remembers. How do you write 12 as a binomial 2 different ways? Tell your neighbor. 2 different ways of writing 12 as a binomial. All right. Give us one, Miroslava. Go. She said 10 plus 2. Yes, that's a binomial. That is equal to 12. And I said keep it in tens. Remember that? And then the next one would be what? What would we write for the next one? Anthony. E. Very good. 20 minus 8. That is correct. That's two different ways of writing 12. Now let's go to our problem at hand. Question. How do we write 23 Michael Jordan as a binomial? Tell your neighbor. How do we write 23 as a binomial? All right, give us the first one. Jaylene, go. $20 plus 3. Hands, have you got that? All right, and the second one, 30 what? Minus 7. Those are two different ways. One with addition, one with subtraction. Now, why would we want it like that? Well, because now we can write this like so, and look at the identities that they give us. And it reads, here it goes. The problem reads, find the square of the number or the product of the numbers using one or more of the identities. How many identities do we see? To keep organized, guys, underline or box the first one all the way to the comma. I'm going to box the second one to the comma and underline the third one. So how many identities do we have? 3. So let me zoom out. So by looking at the first binomial, look up for addition. Which one does this look like? Does it look like this, or like the first one, right? So that means I'm going to use this one, so I write this one right underneath. X plus y squared equals x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. Let me move this one a little bit farther to the right. Look at that. Man, I love technology. Let's go. All right. So now that we have our identity, all we have to do is substitute values. Instead of x, what am I going to use, Brandon Darty? $20, yes. And instead of y, what am I going to use, everyone? 3. That is correct. So that means for this, I open parentheses for all the variables. And then just substitute values according to that. So here we go. Instead of x, we said it was 20. Instead of y, we said it was 3. All right, so here we go. 20 squared, everyone. 400, very good. Man, you guys are quick. Plus, what is 2 times 20 times 3? 120. Plus, what is 3 squared? 9. So what is 400 plus 120 plus 9? That's 529. And that's how you do these. However, if you love negatives, look at this one. Could we use this same identity? No, because this one is a what? So we would use which one? This last one right here, if I was to go with that one. But I'm not going to do that one for the sake of time. But do you know what to do? Yeah, you write this underneath, substitute values, and move on. So, all right, let's move on. That was number 10. Let's go to number 11. Here we go. And it reads, find the square of the number of the product or the numbers using one or more identities. Again, underline the first identity so that you know that how many you have. Here's the first one. Box the second one. Underline the third one. Bless you. But now this looks a little bit different. So you're like, I don't remember this one. Well, here we go. Look up really quick. Whenever you get to these, when we have two different numbers multiplying, we first need to write them with the same number, at least to get started with the same number. So we need to write them as binomials. Hold on. You're just paying attention. So to get started, I take the two numbers and I do addition. So I take 34 plus 42. What is 34 plus 42? That's 76. And since it's two numbers, I'm going to divide by 2, and my new number is 38. This is what we call the midpoint. Copy that really quick. Midpoint. Mr. Q, what do I do with this new midpoint? Well, we need to write 38 here and 38 here, and use that number to write my two numbers. How can I write 38? How can I write 34 using the number 38? Tell your neighbor, please. 38 what? Minus 4. That is correct. How do I write 42 using 38? Plus 4. That is correct. So, with that said, look at the identities. What does this one look like? Does it look like this one? No. Does it look like this one? Yes. All it is, it's backwards, but we'll do the switch. So let me zoom out. All right, here we go. So look, we have x plus y, x minus y. Do you guys see it here? Yeah, so I'm going to write x minus y, x plus y, and that is equal to what? X squared minus y squared. So, instead of x, what would we write, Brandon Felix? That is correct, 38. Everyone, instead of y, we use what? 4. So, 4. All right, so this one is 38. So, 38 squared is 38 times 38. What is 38 times 38? Let's see, calculators, calculate. 38 times 38. What is it? Go. 1,444, very good. Minus 4 squared is 16. Therefore, 1444 minus 16, total is 1428. And that's how you do those. Now, before we move on, this was number what on the study guide? 11? So 11 cubed. I'm going to give you two numbers again. Here we go. Let's do 40, give me a number. 6 times 24. Find me the midpoint. See if you remember without looking at your notes. Find the midpoint and rewrite this as two binomials. Midpoint and two binomials. Go. All right, binomials. Share with your neighbor, and then Maya is going to enlighten us. Binomials for 46 and 24. We need a midpoint and our binomials, new binomials. Maya, A, what'd you get? Let's go. Hands if you got that. That is correct, and the rest is history, yes? All right, let's move on. Go to number 12. Oh, yeah, let's go. I love these. So, what is the first thing that this triggers in your noodle right away? You're like, I want to fall in the fetus position, Mr. Q, and start crying. No. When you see the binomial theorem, the first thing that should come to mind is the Pascal triangle. So we start with what? 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 1, 4, 6, 4, 1, and I stop. Why did I stop? Tell your neighbor, why did I stop there? Yes, because the exponent is a what? A 4, and as soon as I see that number in my triangle, I stop. So, what do we do with these numbers, guys? These are coefficients, is that correct? So I'm going to write them out underneath. I start with 1, empty space, plus 4, empty space, plus 6, empty space, plus 4, empty space, plus 1. All right, here we go. Next, I start with the first term. What is the first term? S. And I put that in parentheses. And what is the degree that I start with? The highest degree was what? 4. The next term becomes x to the third. The next term is x to the second, x to the first, and x to the 0. Let's go to the second term. For the second term, look up. In this case, we do include the negative. So this is the -2. So I'm going to write parentheses, -2. But we don't start with the 4th degree. We start with the what? 0 degree. -2 to the 1st degree, -2 to the 2nd degree, -2 to the 3rd degree, and -2 to the 4th degree. So far so good, yes? All right, next. What do we do next, Mr. Q? Well, we multiply out the exponent. So here we go. I bring down the 1 times x to the 4th is x to the 4th times -2 to the 0, everyone. Anything to the 0 exponent is 1. That is correct. Plus, bring down the 4 times x to the 3rd degree is x to the 3rd times -2 to the 1st degree is -2. We leave that in parentheses. Plus, bring down the 6 times x to the 2nd is x to the 2nd times -2 squared. That's -2 times -2 is +4. Yes. Plus, bring down the 4. X to the 1st is x to the 1st. There it is. I don't need to write the 1st because it's there. Times -2 to the 3rd power. That's -2 times -2 times -2, which is -8. Put that in parentheses. The negative. Plus 1 times, what is x to the 0? 1 times -2 to the 4th power. That's -2 times -2 times -2 times -2. 16. And at the end, we just simplify by multiplying everything out. 1 times 1 is 1 times x to the 4th is x to the 4th. Plus, numbers times numbers. What is -2 times 4? -8. Bring down the x cubed, and I'm going to leave -8 in parentheses, or you could have written -8x cubed. 4 times 6, that's 24, x squared. And -8 times 4, that's -32x. And 1 times 1 times 16, that is 16. There it is. All right, I'm going to upload the video up to number 12. Your home plate was up to number what? 14. Tomorrow we'll continue with those. Have a good one, guys. Enjoy your home plate. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.